Well, guys, I'm really frustrated. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Lori Bloom. This is Lori Bloom Flexibility, and I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in my life. So if you guys have been following me, you know, I've been training aerial silks flexibility for a number of years now. I also eat an anti-inflammatory diet for the most part. Now, if you didn't know, I have two very opposing lifestyles. On the one hand, I have this flexibility channel. I'm on the Insta doing my stretches, doing my fitness. I lead a very active lifestyle. I'm hardcore eating as clean as possible. And on the other hand, I have a cruise travel channel in which 4 to 5 times a year, I literally go on week-long plus cruises and eat my face off. Anything goes when I'm on a cruise because we have to eat and report back to the people. When I first started training aerial and flexibility, that was all I did. That was pre me and my husband vacationing regularly, and just 5 times a week I'd be at the studio 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours a day, just taking class or doing open workouts, working my butt off. Because I had never had that kind of muscle on my body before, I started losing weight right away. Even though I was getting stronger, and muscle does weigh more than fat, I revved up my metabolism hardcore. I also, at the time, was switching between a keto diet and a paleo diet and being very clean and eating very low starchy carbs. At my thinnest, I was 125 pounds and I actually felt amazing. My entire childhood, teenage years, I always struggled a little bit with weight, not with obesity, but just those 10, 15 pounds. And as someone who grew up dancing, it's always just been so frustrating because I felt like if I could just be 15 pounds thinner, I'd be working way more as a dancer and an actress. And if you're watching this and you're in your 20s or even early 30s, there has been a huge body positivity movement since my childhood. All shapes and sizes are accepted, and I love that. I think that's amazing. But in the 90s, it definitely was not like that. I have so many instances of being shamed for my weight, being told I was just too pudgy for a certain role. I was even once told by a casting director that they could tell I was lifting weights because at the time I did work at Bally's Sports Club, and they said that was good, but I should really stop if I wanted to make it as an actress because the muscle made me look fat. And with all that being said, I don't feel as much pressure to be skinny anymore, but I do feel like when I was in my 120s, early 130s, I was getting more work. I was getting hired to be that yoga instructor on film and television productions. And in general, I was just being taken way more seriously as a health and fitness guru. Since I was 125, I've been kind of going on cruises, gaining 4, 5, 6 pounds a cruise, coming back, maybe losing 2 or 3 of the pounds, then going on another cruise, gaining 5, 6 pounds, coming back, etc., etc. I've also reintroduced more starchy carbs in my life. So again, when I'm on a cruise, anything goes, and I don't want to change that. But when I come back, I'm eating clean, but I'm eating loads of starchy carbs, potatoes, rice, and I still work out all the time, but nothing like I used to when I first started. In addition, I'm very stagnant for huge chunks of the day because I do a lot of things that involve just editing, just sitting on my butt and editing. So I have decided to, what one of my work friends said, microdose keto. into my diet. Why am I using the word microdose? Now, I know you're going to say to me, Lori, there's no such thing as microdosing keto. Your body's either in ketosis or it's not in ketosis. Well, let me explain. What I should really say is I'm going to start lowering the amount of starchy carbs in my diet. And the reason I'm going to do this a little at a time is simply because I don't want to be wasteful. I have so many fruit snacks. I have things like couscous left in my freezer. I have some wraps left. So not unhealthy things, just food products with carbs. So starting today and for the next few weeks, every time I go grocery shopping, I'm going to buy foods that only fit in the keto category. Essentially, I'm just going to be purchasing proteins, vegetables, and then maybe if there's like a fun keto snack I can get. And also I'll probably get some raspberries or a different kind of berry that's low glycemic, just so if I get that sweet craving, I don't have a meltdown. And as I do my keto-friendly grocery hauls, I will slowly finish up the food in my house that is higher carbs and eventually be on a strict keto diet at least for a few weeks to see if it helps. I just want to lose those few extra stubborn pounds. So I'll probably be bringing you along with this journey. We can see if it helps. We can see if I'm able to stick with it because the cravings for me are real. I know a lot of people say when you're in ketosis, you don't crave sugar. When I used to do a keto diet, I did not find that to be the case. So I thought I'd start by bringing you along with me as I go grocery shopping. But first, let's just do a little before video. All right, sorry guys, I'm not going to do the underwear thing because I'm already dressed to start my day. Okay guys, I want some street cred for this because this is really hard for me to do. My stomach has always been my biggest problem area. When I lose weight, I'll lose it in my arms, lose it in my legs, and I'll still have a little belly. And what's really annoying about that is my core is one of the strongest parts of my body. By having it covered with some fat, a lot of people just assume I'm weak. I'm so lucky that I live so close to both a Trader Joe's and a Whole Foods. Both of them are within a 5-minute walk. And while we're strolling on over there, I want to talk about something I forgot to mention in our heart-to-heart we just had. And that is, if I was eating the way I eat now 10 plus years ago, I would be about 15-20 pounds lighter. I am 45 now. When I gain weight, the weight just wants to stick. It is so much harder to get it off. Again, I've been eating clean, almost no white sugar, almost no alcohol, and this damn weight won't budge, which is why I am turning to keto. And I know a lot of people might bring up calorie counting in the comments. And my problem with calorie counting is I get to the allotted calories by lunch and then I have a meltdown because I'm still hungry. Eating a keto diet reduces your cravings for sugar and carbohydrates because the diet shifts the body's primary fuel source from glucose to fat. And once adapted to this new fuel source, the body experiences fewer cravings. So the hope is I'll probably end up eating less calories anyway because I won't be craving as much food all the time. Like one of my favorite health and fitness gurus, JJ Virgin, always says, your body is a chemistry set, not a calorie counter. So focus on what you put into it. All right, let's break it down. What exactly did I get? So first of all, I got these already hard-boiled eggs. Lori, that's such a waste of money. Aren't those more expensive than if you were to just buy eggs and hard-boil them yourself? Yes, but you know what is expensive? Losing the time as I peel the shell off the egg. Time is money, my friends. A bag of hard-boiled eggs. Number 2, I got 2 different kinds of lettuce in a tub. I just feel like they stay fresher in the tub than in the bag. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, I love romaine lettuce. And I've never tried this before, but it is organic, so hopefully I like it. So next up, number 3, sometimes when I'm in a rush, I don't feel like sitting around chopping up greens, chopping up onions, chopping up tomatoes, whatever. So I got these pre-made salads. This is only for when I'm in a rush and I don't have time. There's only 5 grams of carbs in this whole salad. And you know what? I'm probably gonna end up tossing some of the cheese because dairy is an inflammatory. I do have some dairy, but I try and keep it on the DL for the most part. Next up, I got these sliced shiitake mushrooms. They're frozen. There is 4 grams of carbs per serving, and there's 3.5 servings in this whole bag. And I just really like shiitake mushrooms. I would probably either have this as a side or maybe mix a little protein in it, but I'm really looking forward to this. Broccoli, I prefer frozen as to fresh broccoli just because sometimes I don't always get to it right away and I don't like when it starts to go bad, get brown and gross. 4 grams of carbs per serving. I got these rosemary Marcana almonds. I've never tried them before, so sometimes I just need a little snack or I'll go nuts. These look good, so I'll give them a try. There is 6 grams of carbs per serving in this. There is sunflower oil. I should have looked at that. I don't like the sunflower oil. Not that good for you. But then other than that, it has sea salt and rosemary. Frozen turkey meatballs. Now, I'm not one of those girls that will go out and get like raw meat and cook it from scratch. My main cooking tool in this apartment is an air fryer, and turkey meatballs are something that I can just throw into the air fryer and heat up. There's 6 grams of carbs per serving. So basically, I think this is a good, quick protein that I can have. Another thing I purchased in the snack spectrum are these egg bites. So it's basically just eggs with stuff in them. This one's got spinach and kale, and you got 7 grams of carbs in these, which is not too bad. So I got scallions to add to my leafy green salads that I make from scratch. Shrimp with the tail off. Again, another thing of, isn't that extra money when the tail comes off? Yes, it is, but time is money, my friends. All right, I got avocados. Avocados are just like the best. I love them so much. These are actually ready to go. So I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator. And if you didn't know, when you put a ripe avocado in the refrigerator, it keeps it longer. And I got a big bag of chicken wings because sometimes my husband and I like to sit and watch movies and I need a junk food, 0 grams of carbs in this bag. So even though these may not be the healthiest, they are still following the keto guidelines. Then last but not least, I've actually never tried this before. I got a salami. It looked good. Again, I need that snack. There's only 2 grams of carbs per serving. And now, if I get hangry, salami. So anyway, that is my grocery haul. I'm actually not even hungry yet. It's 8:32. My husband is actually still asleep. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment. He is a late riser. He'll usually be up more at like 9:30 or 10. So I think I'm going to use like the next hour to get some computer work done. And then at 10:45, I have to head to Vital Rock Climbing Gym, which is where I've been training aerial silks these days. And I'm doing an open workout and I'm utilizing this open workout to prep for my classes. I'm subbing at Body and Pull on Sunday. So I got a lot to do today because then also when I come back, I have a ton of editing to do. So let's get our work started. All right, you guys, you know it's official when she's got her glasses on. So I'm at my desk and I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what I'm about to do for the next hour or so until I have to get ready and go. I've talked about this on this channel before. I am an Amazon influencer, which means that I make shoppable videos for Amazon, meaning any product that you see on Amazon, sometimes they're at the top or sometimes you have to scroll, but there's videos up about that product. I am one of those people that makes those videos. So sometimes when I make the videos, like for example, I have a video of this. Sometimes I just show the product and do a voiceover, and sometimes I'll talk to the camera and I'll say, hi, I strongly recommend these lens wipes. They are so useful for my glasses. I love them so much. Blah, 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 blah. And you don't have to have purchased the product in order to do this. The product just has to be available on Amazon. So I've been doing this since October. I've gone through almost everything in my New York City apartment that is available on Amazon. And now that I have so many videos up, I get a lot of products sent to me. So recently, let me just show you a few things I've gotten. I got this little charging bank. I've gotten some underwear. And today I got what's really supposed to be nose rings, and they were actually gifted to me, and I told the person, but I don't have a nose piercing. And they said, oh, it's fine, just put it in your ear. So it was very confusing because I know nothing about nose piercings, but I made a little video, but now I have to do the voiceover for the video because I was kind of just like, I didn't know what to say. So now I'm gonna like look up more about the product, figure out what I wanna say about it. I already filmed the footage, and that's what I'm trying to do before I leave. So I'm gonna get started. Secure irritation-free fit. So in this little package, you also get a little pin. I make a thumbnail for all my Amazon videos too. I don't have to, but I get OCD without it. And this is what my storefront looks like. If you want to check it out, the link is in my YouTube bio. And after working for an hour, it was time for breakfast. I've decided to start my day with one of these salads. Now, this might not fill me up to have a good hardcore training session, so I'll probably have like a little snack right before I leave just to make sure I have enough fuel for the body. And with my first meal, I always try and take my supplements, because if I don't do it first thing, I forget, and then I don't end up having supplements. And I've talked about the supplements I've used in previous videos. Right now, I'm actually using a little more than normal because I've been getting a lot of free supplements through Amazon. Something that I've been taking regularly is a multivitamin. This is Omnibiotics. They're a really good brand. Another thing I've been taking for a long time is fish oil. Right now I'm using Omnibiotics brand turmeric, but I've been doing turmeric regularly for a really long time. And then this magnesium has also been one of my go-to supplements. But some new things I've been taking, and I will probably stop taking them once I finish the bottle, but I've been taking this Himalayan shilajit. Let me know in the comments below. Gummies. The only reason I'm taking them is because they are expensive, high quality. I don't even remember exactly what they're supposed to do, but once this bottle runs out, I probably won't buy them anymore, just because I got to be very careful in how much I spend on supplements. Another thing I've been taking that I got for free from Amazon are these beetroot and iron gummies. We could all use a little extra iron in our lives. This would not be the first thing I would be concerned about purchasing for me, because I don't have an iron deficiency. But since I did get it for free, I've been taking them. I really like them. So I'm gonna eat breakfast, do a little more work, and then we'll go to Brooklyn and train. I've been obsessed with truffle lately, so I got this truffle salt to jazz up all my salads. I'm gonna get back to editing while I eat. Here's what the salad looks like with the dressing on it. I don't use the entire bag of dressing that comes with it. I use it sparingly, and sometimes I will replace the dressing with like olive oil, or I'm on this like whole truffle phase. It's this whole thing because we went to this truffle shop at Pike Place Market in Seattle, and it was so good. And now I just can't get enough of truffle anything. Truffle oil, truffle salt, just truffle. I want it all, truffle. I was still hungry after eating the salad, so I did have one of these protein bars, which do have honey in them. So that was not very keto of me. However, I only have one bar left after this. The plan is, until my higher carb foods are out of the house, I'm going to have them earlier in the day, so I burn them throughout the day. So I'm back out of the door, and today I'm going to go train at Vital Rock Climbing Gym. That is where I've been training aerial silks lately. I work at Body and Pole, and I used to 100% only train at Body and Pole, and while I still love Body and Pole, and it's so close to my apartment, the ceilings there are a little low, and I felt like it was time to push myself and train on higher ceilings because I'm actually very afraid of heights. However, other than climbing, I find that I mostly train everything super low at Vital. It's fine. Anyway, I do miss training all the time at a place so close to my apartment, but Vital isn't that far. It takes me about a half hour to get here door to door. And it is a really beautiful space. They rope off a portion of it for the aerial silks classes and open workouts, and I love this mat. It is so thick. So one thing I do when I take an open workout is I set a mission for myself, and my mission today was to go over some material for the next 3 weeks of aerial silks classes that I'm teaching at Body and Pole. And these are all sequences that I know, but I like to go over them again and again, not only to make sure that they're solid in my head, but also to troubleshoot any questions or difficulties the students might have, and also come up with a little teaching script in my head. For example, I might say, take the opposite hand, drag it across the silks. For example, for this cross back straddle, it's very important that you grab the silks just above the forehead, or else it will be harder to get into the crossback. So when I'm working on this stuff, I think all these things through. And also, I'm doing it for myself to get stronger, because running things over and over helps make you stronger. And then if there's time left, I like to just condition until I can't lift my body up the silks anymore. Here I'm doing what I call hinge backs. I feel like these are a great way to build up core and bicep strength. My friend Rachel was training too, so we both headed back to the subway together because she takes the same one as me. This is the L train, and one thing about the L train is that at the stop where I get off, it is deep underground. So I have to take like 4 levels of stairs to get back up to the surface. So I feel like I end up getting a good cardio workout too. All right, back home, and you know I have built up an appetite, so I am ready for at least a snack. I'm going with the egg whites with cheddar cheese and turkey sausage, and it only takes 60 seconds to heat in the microwave. Looks good. All right, taste test. Oh, I've had them before, but it's been a while, but they're like perfectly salted, not over salted, not under salted. So if you live near Trader Joe's and you're looking for a good low carb snack, I highly recommend them. So I'm gonna finish them up while I'm doing my ship tour video. And no tears crying for us. We did get Alaskan king crab, so all's well that ends well. I worked for about another hour, and then I got hungry again, so I decided to attack that sausage, opened it up, cut myself a few slices, and then went back to work. So it is dinner time. It is 6:38. Believe it or not, I worked on that thing for 3 hours. Then my husband came home from his walk. I went into the bedroom and I worked on some more Amazon stuff for another hour and a half, and I filmed some swimsuits for Amazon. I'll leave the links below for those swimsuits. They're kind of cute. Tonight for dinner, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna do some greens, probably an avocado, and I'm gonna heat some of these in the air fryer and cut it up and put it and have like this meat salad. I'll probably add some scallions too. So let's get to it. Cooking the meatballs is so easy. I just throw them in the air fryer for 12 minutes. And while the meatballs cook, I start to prep everything else, throw the salad in the bowl, and then cut everything up. And while I'm doing this, can I ask you guys, if you have not yet, please hit the like and subscribe button with a notification bell on. I'm only going to keep posting videos like this if people tune in. It takes a lot to make them. So if you like this style of content, you gotta hit the like button or leave me a comment in the comment section. It'll spark that algorithm and let it know this is what the people want. Also, if you have any questions about a keto diet, I am not a dietitian, but I did do a bit of research before I went keto, and I also lived that keto lifestyle a few years ago. I felt like it worked very well for my body, so hopefully it will again.
We've just found a little balcony to the outside, and you can actually see into Fantasy Springs, which is in Disney Sea. But what a view!
Ate dinner with my husband while watching our absolute favorite YouTubers cruise with Ben and Dave, except they weren't cruising this week. They were at Tokyo Disneyland. I was also still hungry for a dessert afterwards, so I had some frozen raspberries mixed with some keto chocolate chips. And now, after dessert, my husband is still in the living room, and I'm gonna finish up some editing on my little baby MacBook Air that I keep in this bedroom specifically for when I wanna work in here, just because it's so much easier to deal with than my MacBook Pro. And that's gonna wrap up this episode. Listen, you guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's super important because if there is a lot of interest, I'll make weekly follow-ups of how I'm doing in the diet, of if I am losing weight. If not, I'll probably post a follow-up video in about a month or so. All right, you guys, until the next time, have a fit and fabulous day. Bye-bye.